Good morning, everyone. It's time to go on the record.
We can balance the old with the new, and we can do it with imagination.
Marty Walsh calling for a bolder look for the 21st century. Boston construction, winners and losers in the Boston building fever.
I hope we stay in Massachusetts. This is our home. We love it here.
Deval Patrick is still on the job market as the days roll down in his governorship.
With only a few weeks left in office, we take an unofficial poll on how folks view the outgoing governor.
And Steve Crosby is now into year 3 as chairman of the Mass Gaming Commission. He's here this morning. We'll talk about the Wynn project and where the third casino will go.
From WCPB Boston, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ed Harding, along with Jenna Wu, our political reporter here at News Center 5. Thank you for joining us on OTR this morning. Our guest is Stephen Crosby. He's the chair of the Mass Gaming Commission. In the 3 years since he became the head of the new agency, it's been fraught with controversy. And at the same time, 2 casinos, you don't agree with fraught with controversy, 2 casinos licenses have now been granted and 1 slots license, so there was a lot to discuss this morning. Not fraught. You take offense to the word fraught with controversy?
Not offense, but I think there has been some controversy that sort of goes with the territory, but I wouldn't have said fraught with controversy.
Well, let's deal with some of those controversies.
Why did I bring this up anyway?
Let's start with Everett. You've had to recuse yourself from the process because of a connection with one of the former owners of that property over there.
Actually, just to be clear, I didn't have to recuse myself. The Ethics Commission said, you're fine.
You made the decision to recuse yourself.
I decided, just for the sake of appearance, I probably should do it, yeah.
And so you had nothing to do with awarding that license to Everett. How confident are you that even with Steve Wynn receiving the license, that there will be a casino as envisioned right now by 2017?
Everything we know is that it's all a go. There are important issues to be dealt with, sure. The biggest one surely is the traffic in Sullivan Square. But Mayor Walsh has made very courteous noises about working with Wynn. Wynn is prepared to put serious money on the table to fix that. There are good conversations going on with the people in Charlestown, involving them in the project, assuming that can get fixed. And of course, it won't go forward without that getting fixed and without the city's approval and the state's approval. But assuming that gets fixed, which is really just a matter of money, there's every reason to believe this will happen.
That money is a big deal, though, however.
Well, but Wynn's committed to paying it. I mean, Wynn will pay whatever it takes, literally, whatever it takes to fix the traffic situation for the addition of the casino traffic. He'll pay it.
Are you saying that's the only barrier to making that 2017 deadline? Not deadline, but objective.
Target.
Well, there are other permits that have to be gotten. They have to clean up the land, which is a non-trivial matter. You know, this is the old Monsanto chemical plant.
Which in many ways might make it the biggest hurdle in the plan, no?
Again, I think it's just a matter of money, and they have a ton of it to fix this. They're up talking tens and tens of millions of dollars. But things could always go wrong. But the only really significant issue that remains to be dealt with is the traffic issue in Sullivan Square.
But is this an issue? Wynn's Casino Empire has given the Security and Exchange Commission the requested information on some reports that say it's a in a money laundering investigation. Is your commission aware of the details of that, and are you being advised by the feds?
Advised by the feds, no.
Aware?
We have always said integrity is job one, and integrity means especially our licensees and the people. We have an investigations bureau that has a state police unit. We have investigators financial investigators who used to be with the IRS, the FDIC. We will look into these charges or these issues, they're not charges, we look into these issues, see what they are. When we know the facts, which we don't yet, they will come back to us and we will look at it. And if there's an issue to be talked about, we will address it.
Are you confident that the Wynn people are keeping you up to date on what they truly do know about this SEC investigation or probe?
It's being handled by our investigations and enforcement unit. They are very close to the Wynn people on this. There will be people going to Las Vegas to look at these papers. As far as I know, yes, absolutely. I think these folks, they're as committed, I think, as everybody else is to trying to make sure that they are and are perceived as on the level.
But when the SEC requested the information from the Wynn people, they apparently did not tell the commission about it, because when it came out in the newspapers many, many months later, and we called the commission, we talked to your spokeswoman, apparently your investigators had not been informed about this. by the Wynn people. So what gives you confidence that they're keeping you up to date on all of this?
Well, now we are in conversations, and we've expressed our concern that we do want to be kept up. They were not under any obligation to tell us. There's no statutory or regulatory or legal obligation to tell us. Would it have been nice if they told us? Yeah, probably.
And have you said to them, look, we wanted to be kept up to date on
Yeah,
everything from
in
now
effect,
on?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the casinos themselves. They're Springfield,
Yep.
Everett. We were just talking about Everett. What about southeastern Massachusetts? How many applicants do you think there will be, and how do you encourage them to consider the low revenue estimates that possible competition from the Indian tribe?
Well, you've put your fingers on the challenges. This is a smaller market. It's a very competitive market already. You've got Twin Rivers, you've got Plainville, where the slots parlor will be, and you've got the possible Damoclean sword of the Indian tribe. We've extended the application date until February 1st. We have lowered the financial threshold a little bit, so it's not as high a risk. And we are encouraging people to apply. As of the moment, we do not have any completed applications, but there's another couple of months before they're due.
But you have one group that has put a deposit down, saying that they're
clear
interested.
intention, right. Yes, one company has put in their $400,000 deposit and fully intends to put in a full application, but as yet, we do not have that full application.
Are you ready for the OTR Pop Quiz?
No, but next time I come back, I'm going to ask you the question. I promise. You bring me back. All right.
We're going to phone a friend or recuse ourselves or something. All right, question one. What former Boston and Washington mover and shaker is leaving the world of politics for a position in New Hampshire academia?
That would be Andy Card.
Andy Card, the new president of Franklin
Who
Pierce.
looks great. He's lost weight.
Yeah.
Looks terrific.
Governor Patrick is looking at a job across the Charles. What is the venue and the job?
That was some kind of a professorship or innovative advisors at MIT, I think.
Oh, bingo, bingo, bingo. My goodness, you're 2 for 2.
Yeah, there you go.
If I was a gambling man, I'd say you're doing pretty well.
I watched that news show.
But I'm not. We continue on the record with Steve Crosby. Stay with us.